If we attach this wire through the sponge like so, we can use it to clean out the dust between the vents in our heaters. We can make wire clips by screwing zip ties into these pre-drilled holes. Then fasten the wire in the zip tie and cut off the excess. By adding a bit of super glue to these two PVC pipe clips, we can secure these two pipes perpendicularly. If we drill an extra hole into the side of this key like so, it'll make it much easier to find if we have a bunch of similar looking keys. Sometimes old keys can break off in the key slot. They can be difficult to remove with just tweezers. We can solder some wire to the old key to help us pull it out. To keep this baseboard flush with the wall, tape a bit of scrap wood at an angle like so. Let's heat up this pipe fitting with a blowtorch. Next, we'll twist the pipe into one end and the elbow joint into the other end. Pour a bit of water to cool everything down. Now when we unscrew the pipes, they'll fit together perfectly. Here we need to cut some rope. These scissors are not the right tool for the job. Instead, we can use the other end of the rope and a bit of friction to make our cut. When wrapping together 3 wires, try this. Hold them together side by side with a pair of pliers, then wrap the 2 end wires around the center wire in a spiral. Lastly, hold the center wire back down over the twisted wires. Use a drywall knife to help remove old wallpaper. We'll want to make sure that our drywall is flat and even before applying any new wallpaper. Remove any anchors and nails, and be sure to apply enough spackling to create an even surface. Then apply the new wallpaper. You can even use the drywall knife to clean up any mess on the floor. To prevent this straw from getting lost, we can glue an empty pen case to the side of this can and place the straw inside. We can tape together 2 toothbrushes to lubricate our bike chains. Our next little project will be building a stand that helps us solder wires together. We'll cut this plywood into 3 pieces and glue the edges together and secure them with screws. Next, we'll make notches using a handsaw and a file. Now the stand will act as an extra pair of hands while we solder our wires together. Let's make another notch here on our workbench. We can place a wire in the notch and use a razor to strip the plastic from the wires. Here's a fun way to make a DIY Christmas ornament. Arrange these nuts in a Christmas tree shape, then apply super glue and let dry. And for one of our last projects today, we'll be building our own DIY Christmas tree. We'll fasten 2 studs together perpendicularly with an extra long bolt through the center. Then we'll stack studs in decreasing size and secure them with a nut and a final stud on top. For the star, we can glue popsicle sticks together and decorate them with glitter. We can hang our ornaments on the tree like so. And what about a little Santa decoration? We can attach this mop to this cup and decorate it using a sock. Then we'll cut out a nose from this sponge. And with a few more candles and treats, we've created a nice atmosphere to get us into the Christmas spirit. Cracking hazelnuts can quickly make a mess. We can use these scissors to prevent the shells from flying everywhere. These metal clamps will also do the trick. Don't have a tripod for your laser level? Make a shallow slit into the drywall and place the angle grinder disc into the slot. Then set your level on top. We need our pipes fully insulated, including the elbow pipe. We'll simply cut both ends of the insulation at a 45-degree angle using a utility knife. Here's an interesting way to solder the ends of wires. First, we'll take out the soldering tip and replace it with a bolt and a bracket. We can stabilize our soldering iron. Now we can melt the solder into the bracket and then dip our wires into the solder directly. We can twist wires together nice and evenly by attaching a wooden dowel into a socket bit and then stick the wire into the wooden dowel. Secure the wires with pliers and drill. Cleaning the grout between tiles can be tedious. Here's an easy way to speed up the process. Cut off the head of a brush and drill a screw into its center. Tighten the screw into the chuck, and now the drill can do the scrubbing for us. If your jigsaw blade is dull, we can give it another use. Grind off the teeth with an angle grinder and then sharpen the edge like a knife. Attach it to a jigsaw, and now it can be used to cut cleanly through thick foam boards. The staple gun is a great and useful tool to have on the job, but ours happened to run out of staples a bit earlier than expected. That's okay. We can use an office stapler instead. We can use a rubber mallet to help fully drive the staples into the wood. Here's one way you can sharpen your pencil a bit faster, just using the help of a drill. Here we're going to use a wood clamp to help us mark parallel lines to the edge of the board. Unscrew the top and use the hole to make your mark. Next up is a DIY torque washer. Make 2 parallel incisions about halfway through both sides of a wide washer. Use a plier to bend the tines 90 degrees and then weld a nut onto the top of the washer. We can install it by hammering it in on one side and then securing it fully by screwing it in with a bolt. This is especially useful for building furniture. This water handle is broken. We can make a new handle using a cord on each side of the cord. Put each loop through the opposite loop, one under and one over, like so. Place the loop over the water bottle and pull it snug. Now we have an easy way to carry our water bottles. Anyone who's worked with wood knows that sanding can take a long time. Today, we'll try to speed up the process by making a sanding drum. By hot gluing a bolt to the center of this wooden dowel. Then we'll make a deep incision through the center of the dowel, and next we'll slide sandpaper into the incision, wrap it around, and glue the sandpaper onto itself. Now we have a sanding drum for all of our projects. Next, we're going to be making a homemade coffee grinder. We'll need 3 snap-off blades, snapped off to the correct size, an extra long bolt, and 4 nuts. Tighten the nuts to the end of the bolt with the blades in between. Make sure it's securely fastened so the blades stay put. Drill a hole into the center of the lid. Twist a nut to the center of the bolt and drop the washer on top of it. Place the lid over the washer and then another washer on top of the lid. Secure the whole thing with the final nut. Tighten the lid to the jar to make sure that the bolts can twist freely without any wobble. All that's left is to fill the jar with coffee beans and attach the bolt to the chuck and drill. Now we can brew a fresh cup of coffee to get our day started. Lastly, we'll be doing a bit of arts and crafts by making a simple decoration. Start by wrapping this wire tightly around this PVC pipe, then pulling it apart for the right shape. We'll bend the top into a little hook. Next, we'll hot glue a steel ball into the middle of our spring and let it dry. We'll tie a piece of string to the top end of the ornament